Hello, friends. Welcome back to English Classes Online. My name is Benjamin. Today's video is on 3 rules for pronouncing ED endings in English words. This is part of our basic English pronunciation lessons aimed at showing you how to articulate English sounds, because in writing English words, we use letters, but in speaking, we use speech sounds. And so many people get confused because there's a marked difference or discrepancy between spelling and pronunciation. And that is the basic discrepancy between writing and speaking. So we want to look at 3 basic rules for pronouncing the ED past tense markers, or what we call the ED endings in English words. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Click on the bell icon as well, so that whenever a new video is uploaded on the channel, you will be instantly notified. The subscribe button is tagged subscribe. You'll find the red button there. And the bell icon, of course, is the image of a bell. Click on it, and that will ensure that you will receive constant notifications when new videos are uploaded on the channel. Having said this, let's dive into the lesson right away. Now, the rules are 3 basic rules, and I want us to look at them one by one. Okay. Now, the first rule here has to do with the ED past tense morpheme, or the ED ending of words being pronounced T or T. All right. Now, when the ED past tense morpheme comes after a voiceless consonant, such as F, CH, that symbolize the cha sound, K, P, S, or sha, then of course it is pronounced T. All right. And then we have examples. We have watched. All right. Watched. Well, let me try and see how I can give you the transcription. So when we look at this word watched, then you will understand that, you know, okay. Okay, let me see how. So let's look at watched, and you can see the transcription here. Watched. So you find T as the sound that comes at that represents ED here. This is watch, all right. Then this is watched. Now a similar thing happens here, all right. matched. Okay, so when you talk of matched, the sound here is T, matched. Then laughed, again, you see that laughed is, well, let me not really, for want of time, let's not, okay, so let's actually, so here again, you see the sound of T here. The same thing in clapped, it is clapped. Here it is marked, is T, marked. Passed, all right? Washed, washed. Pushed, pushed. Liked, liked. Tapped. Again, you see T representing ED in all these places. Then preached, preached. Cuffed, cuffed. So you can see, you know. So the rule is clear. When the ED past tense morpheme comes after a voiceless consonant, such as F, cha, K, P, S, or sha, then it is pronounced T. It is pronounced T, as we have in watched, matched, laughed, marked, passed, washed, pushed, liked, typed, clapped, preached, and cuffed. So take note of how the rule is applied, all right? Then the second rule is this, all right? So here we are looking at a situation where the ED past tense morpheme or word ending is pronounced D, D. Now, there's one thing I want to mention here. You see that D represents, you know, the ED past tense morpheme when, you know, when ED comes after a voiced sound. All right? So, and there's a difference between voiced and voiceless sound. And this actually is something you notice when you place your two fingers on your throat, or that lump that is called the Adam's apple on your throat. You place your two fingers there, and you discover that when you pronounce a word like fan, you know, well, let me erase this. All right. When you pronounce a word like fan, F-A-N, fan, you know, but start this initial, the sound of F, and then stretch it, such as, then place your two fingers on your throat as you pronounce the sound of F. You will notice that there is no marked vibration. Then again, try to pronounce the sound of S as if you want to say sun. Then you pronounce S. As you place your two fingers on your throat, what do you notice? There is really no prominent shaking of your finger. In other words, no remarkable vibration. But on the other hand, try to pronounce the sound of Z. The sound of Z. Of course, just stretch the sound of Z, placing your two fingers on your throat. What do you find? Zzz. And then you discover there is a vibration. You will notice it, you know, on your two fingers that you place on your throat. As you pronounce zzz, you will notice a remarkable vibration. And that is what shows you the difference between the voiceless sounds like F and others, and the voiced sounds like B and others. All right. So that will show you exactly what happens when we are talking about, you know, ED past tense morpheme being pronounced either T or D. Now let's look at the second rule here. And the second rule states that when the ED past tense morpheme comes after a voiced sound, it could be a voiced consonant or a vowel sound. You know, a vowel sound is voiced, but when you come to consonants, some consonant sounds are voiceless and some are voiced. So that is exactly what happens. The ED past tense morpheme is pronounced D, as we have in mobbed. You know, when you talk of mobbed, what replaces ED is D, mobbed, tabbed. All right? Babbed, begged, judged, jailed, mailed, condemned, fund. All right? Lend. All right? Bad, it is D. Loved, saved, raised, praised. Now take note of the fact that when we are pronouncing the sound of S here in raised, the sound is Z. The same thing here, the S letter gives us the sound of Z. So we have raised and we have praised. So these are all voice sounds. When the ED past tense morpheme comes after a voiced sound, it is pronounced D. You know, we have B, G, which is ga, then J, L, M, N, R, V, or Z, or Z. These are all voice consonants. And so when the ED past tense morpheme comes after any of these sounds, it is pronounced D or D, as we have in mobbed, tabbed, babbed, begged, judged, jailed, mailed, condemned, fund, lend, bad, loved, saved, raised, praised. Now, you can contrast this with watched, marched, laughed, marked, passed, washed, pushed, liked, tapped, capped, preached, cuffed. You notice the sound of T or T in each of these. Unlike here, where we have the sound of D in mobbed, tabbed, barbed, begged, judged, jailed, mailed, condemned, fanned, lend, bad, loved, saved, raised, and praised. All right? So let's now look at the third rule. All right? And this is where we have the sound ed. And that is when the ed past tense morpheme comes after the sound t or d, it is pronounced ed. Ed. All right? And that is what we have in visited. Ed is pronounced ed, visited. Now, you may not sound extreme in making it ed, but let it be slightly tilted towards ed. So we talk of visited, wanted, pasted, listed. All right? Wanted, pasted, listed, divided, decided. Well, divided, I have already mentioned, mended, wounded. All right, so you can see, let's go through it again. All right, visited, wanted, pasted, listed, divided, decided, mended, and wounded. So ed replaces ed. In the first one, T replaces ed in watched. All right. In the second rule, T replaces ed in mobbed. In the third rule, ed replaces ed in visited. All right. So these are actually the three rules. I want us to do some exercise. I will erase this and then we go to the next. I want you to take an exercise. I want you to test your knowledge of what we have actually learned. So you can pause this video and then you take a sheet of paper and a pen and, you know, do this exercise, 15 in number. L-U-N-C-H-E-D. What will be the sound of ed here? K-I-S-S-E-D. I-N-V-I-T-E-D. P-R-O-V-I-D-E-D. B-R-I-B-E-D. Now, I want you to test yourself, do this exercise and see if you'll be able to use the three rules that we discussed in testing your phonological knowledge here. Number 6, U-S-E-D. 7, M-O-V-E-D. 8, L-A-M-P-O-O-N-E-D. 9, F-O-O-L-E-D. 10, D-E-C-E-I-V-E-D. 11, P-L-A-Y-E-D. 12, B-A-N-N-E-D. 13, M-A-I-M-E-D. 14, M-A-N-A-G-E-D. 15, B-R-U-S-H-E-D. All right. So now we are going to go through it to see how I want you to use any of the sounds. Use either T or D or ed to represent the sound here, and then mark yourself. As we go through it right now, I want you to then cross-check what you have done and then mark yourself. So here, what do we find? Launched. So here we have the sound of T representing ED here. Now, can you explain the reason for this answer? Launched. Launched. Why is it launched and not launched or launched? Why is it T? Now, the explanation is simple. It is according to the first rule we discussed. When the ED past tense morpheme comes after a voiceless sound, then it is pronounced T. All right? That's exactly what happens. Then the second one is kissed. Kissed. So the sound again is T because S is a voiceless consonant. Number 3, invited. Invited. So what we have here is id. Invited or invited, if you like. Invited. Because we said that when the ed past tense morpheme comes after the sound of T or D, then it is pronounced id. 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 The same thing happens in provided. Provided. So it is again id. Provided. All right. Then the number 5 is bribed. Bribed. The sound here is the sound of D, not T and not id. Again, in number 6, what we have is used. Used. The sound is D. Used. In number 7, we have moved. The sound again is D. Moved. In number 8, the sound is also D, is lampooned. Lampooned, because N is a voiced sound. Is a voiced sound. Is a villa. Is a villa. Is a villa nasal. All right. So it is lampooned. Then number 9 is fooled. Again, it is D, fooled, because L is a voiced consonant. Then number 10 is deceived. Again, the sound is D, deceived, because V is a voiced sound. 11 is played. Again, the sound is D, because, you know, when you talk of AYED, you see that Y is always is a letter, but it is always in most cases it has a vowel sound realization. And I earlier told you that all vowel sounds are voiced. So what we have here is played, played. All right. Then band, again it is D, band, band, because it is the sound of N, which is voiced. Maimed is also D, maimed, because M is a voiced sound. All right, is a voiced sound. It is a bilabial nasal, which is voiced. A voiced bilabial, all right, it's a nasal sound, and all the nasal sounds are voiced. Then managed, again, this is D. This is D because you discover that this is J, managed. Then this is brushed. This, of course, is T because the sound is the sound of the sha. Again, if you place your two fingers on your throat and you pronounce this sh, do you notice any vibration? No. Sh, sh. Now, placing your two fingers on your throat, try to produce the sound of Z. Z, and you notice a vibration. As I earlier told you, when you place your two fingers on your throat, you'll be able to notice when a consonant is voiced and when it is voiceless. When it is voiceless, you do not notice any vibration on your throat when you place your two fingers. But when it is voiced, you notice some remarkable vibration there. And this is how you can test and know when a consonant is voiced or voiceless. And you can notice the rule that when the consonant that comes before, let's actually disengage this and then let's restate the rules so you can see. Rule number 1 is the rule that has to do with T, okay? All right, the sound ED is pronounced as T when the, all right, when ED, okay, okay, let's now, when ED comes after a voiceless consonant, all right, that's the rule. Then the sound is D when ED comes after, well, let's stretch this, comes after a voiced sound. The voiced sound could be a voiced consonant or a voiced or a vowel. As I earlier said, a vowel, every vowel sound is voiced. Then you have the sound of id when ed comes after the sound of T or D. All right, so these are the 3 rules here. And how do we apply it? Let me again take you through this. All right, let me take you through this once again. You can see here, because this sound, the sound here is a voiceless consonant, and that voiceless consonant, I'm going to show you, is the ch sound. Because try and see that this is, all right. Yes, so this is the sound we have in church, in chair, all right, and in cheese. It is a voiceless consonant, And because ED is coming after this voiceless consonant, it is pronounced T. And that obeys rule number 1. All right? Then let's look at the word moved. Moved. Now, because V is a voiced consonant and it comes before ED. ED comes after this, and this is a voiced consonant. So the sound here is D. So, and that obeys rule number 2. This first one obeys rule number 1. Okay, so here we have launched, and here we have moved. All right. Then let's look at invited. Invited. Okay. Invited. The sound here is id, and the reason is because ed comes after t, and this obeys rule number 3. We said that when ed comes after the sound of t or d, it is pronounced id, and this, when we look at invited, it comes, the ed comes after t. Then let's look at the one that comes after d, and that is provided. Again, we have id, provided, because ed comes after d. So when ed comes either after t or d, the sound is id, and that's what we have in provided. So this again obeys rule number 3. So the English pronunciation obeys some specific rules, as you can see here. All right. So, and that is what plays out. This is where we are going to draw the curtain in today's video. I hope you actually, I hope you have, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me erase this so that we won't have a problem with that. Okay. So this is how it has been in today's video. We have been looking at 3 rules for pronouncing ed endings in English words. This is basic English pronunciation lesson, and on this channel we discuss various areas of proficiency in the English language learning. If you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Make sure you click on the bell icon as well, so that whenever a new video is uploaded on the channel, you'll be notified instantly. If you enjoyed today's video, like the video and share the video with your friends and relations. If you have any comments, any suggestions, or any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Take time, or take the time or some time too to browse through the description section. You might find some related videos that will be useful to you. So I want to say a big thank you to all of you who have been part of today's video. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now, and remain blessed. Many thanks for watching today's video. A big thank you to all of you out there for being part of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, kindly subscribe to this channel. Subscribe now as a way of giving us support. For notification about new videos, click on the bell icon. You will find the bell icon. Click on it so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you will be instantly notified. If you have actually enjoyed the video, like and share the video with your friends and relatives. This is very important. If you have any comments, leave your comments below. Any questions, any suggestions, we would gladly receive them and respond promptly and positively to them. See you in the next video. I look forward to always seeing you.